All right, everybody, you got to hold on with me. Let me just rant a little bit about my world. So, if you guys watch a lot of these videos, you know I take a lot of calls from founders trying to raise capital, right? And they typically launch a campaign and then they reach out to me somehow, right? They realize, boy, I need to do more work, right? So, that's typically the work here. So, if you're familiar with the movie Pulp Fiction, think of me as Winston Wolfe, meaning you got a problem, you call me, I show up, I try to help. If you don't like my help, lots of luck. I just got off a call that was bonkers, and we're going to probably share it, right? Because all of these things are learning material, right? So this guy, he's on a portal I've never heard of. If I have not heard of the portal, it's got to tell you something. Like me just saying that needs to mean something. Okay, that's my own ego right there, but that's fine. So this guy, number one, I go through my sales pitch, sales, spiel. This is what I do. This is how it works. This is what you should be thinking about. A lot of education. You guys see the videos on this TikTok. Lots of education, right? That's what I do. I lean on education. I want you to be aware of how hard it is to raise capital. So I go through all of it. This guy comes back and goes, I don't get it. Why don't you just email all of your investors? Just email them all for me and just send them over and have them invest. I'm like, that's not how any of this works. From that point forward, this guy chooses to then sort of fight me, right? Has to one-up me, has to be like, I wouldn't do it that way. I don't understand your visuals. Your visuals, I have a math degree, so I don't understand it. Why are you making it so complicated? I go back and I tell him again, hey, here's why we don't do that. Here's how, you don't just blast, you don't spray and pray, right? Now, this guy's got no crowd built, no community, no newsletter. Then he tells me, yeah, but I got an advisor with 1 million Twitter followers, and he'll just tweet about us a few times. My response to that was, maybe, does that mean that, everything, like he's going to tweet once or twice and everybody's just going to invest? That's not how this works. Then I'm like, also, I am never on this Twitter X thing anymore. That's when the guy's like, oh, I love it. It's free speech. Finally, free speech. They're not suppressing my voice over there. Now I know who I'm dealing with. Well, okay, they're not suppressing your voice. They're also I'm not even logging in. So good luck over there. I don't know, man. So then we get into that whole thing, which is amazing. Then he can't figure out, I'm going to email people. And this is what's the most comical for me. So this is my business model, right? I send people an email and say, hey, I saw that you launched. You might want to connect with me. Just connect with me. Let's just have a nice conversation, right? And all the content that I make, people are like, yeah, I'll get on a call with you. Let's just talk, right? So that's my business model. And once you get on a call with me, you might hire me for a good amount of money, which is great, right? Once you sign up for my world, I send you welcome emails. Like I send you these nurturing emails that say, hey, I love music and bourbon, and I used to be in studios. I introduce myself, and people get those emails, and then they tell me about it. And what always blows my mind is that they don't understand what I'm doing. They're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, I caught you in my trap. You got an email from me. You answered it. You got a LinkedIn message. You answered it. You booked a call with me. You're now on a call with me. You're asking for a proposal. All I'm doing is putting investor in there. It's not complicated, but people can't get it. And I'm always blown away by this because these are smart people. Like they're working in, verticals and sectors that I'm not in, right? So I know that these are smart guys, but they can't comprehend it. And it's frustrating because people truly believe, because of the word crowdfunding, that people are going to just stumble upon insert random website on the internet, open up their wallet, and invest $5,000. They're nuts, right? You have to be nuts to think that. And yet then people are like, I'm the nuts one because I'm telling them like, well, it's called crowdfunding. You have to build a crowd. It's not more complicated than that. Do you have a crowd? Oh, you don't have one? You have to build that. Yeah, but I launched. So everybody should just want to invest in this thing. It is that I don't know if that's the CEO ego that, hear about like you have to want to run a business, but like I can't comprehend it. I don't have it at all. And then to know that like how I've ran my business now for, God, we're going on what, 8-9 years here, of I make connections with people through email, LinkedIn, whatever it is. I make content like I'm doing now. I put myself out there, my personality out there. I then build a track record and people respond. Like if you're not doing that for whatever business you're in, how are you going to work? And mind you, here's another little tidbit. When I tell this guy, like, you got to reach out on LinkedIn. Say, oh, I'm not reaching out. I'm not using my LinkedIn to reach out to anybody. Okay, you're not going to be successful. Why are you doing this? Why did you file Form Cs? Why have you been working on this thing for 5-6 months? Why are you working on something that you know is going to fail? I can't. All right, I got to let this go. I don't want this to ruin my Friday. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. See this? Look at this. I used to have hair here. Now all the hair is growing here, but I used to have it here. I also had it here. But these types of conversations, which mind you, this is like once a week I have these conversations where somebody's like fighting me about what I'm saying, or they're like pushing back on it, or they're like, no, I don't know. I don't really get what you're saying. I don't think I have to do that. One of my advisors, he's got a lot of Twitter followers. It's also called X. The guy kept calling it Twitter too. I was like, well, it's actually called X now, so you should probably, but whatever. I digress. All right, guys, I appreciate you letting me rant. I'm probably over 6 minutes now. This is a long one. But man, this is a little therapy here for me. So I thank you all if you've watched to this point. All right, later.